Yeah. So good morning all. Today I'm going to teach. So here water softening of water softening method. There are different kind of water softening methods are there. So here these are all comes under external treatment of water treatments. So here, for example, if you're going to take external treatment of water treatment, ion exchange method is one kind of external treatment method. Lime soda process is also there. Zeolite process is also there. Zeolite process, lime soda process, ion exchange process, and demineralization or deionization. These are all will come together. So here, softening of water, right? So here, for example, if you are going to take ion exchange method or deionization or demineralization process, the ion exchange resins are widely used in different separations, purifications, and decontamination process. The most common examples are water softening and water purification. The ion exchange resins are insoluble, right? So whatever you are going to take cationic exchange resin or anionic exchange resin, these are all are cross-linked, long chain organic, and with microporous structures, right? So microporous structures and having a functional group attached to the chains are responsible for the ion exchange properties. If you see the diagrams, these are all cross-linked fixed resins, functional group, exchangeable countries and polymer chains, right? So if you see this left side of the diagram, it is what is a cation exchange resins. It can be represented by Rh positive. Next, if you see this, so how the exchange of cations can be takes place with the in between this H place and sodium place, sodium Na place. So here like this that exchanging will be takes place. So these resins contains of acid functional group like COOH, carboxylic group, SO3H are capable of exchanging of H plus ions with other cations which comes in the in their contact. It is known as cation exchange resins. It can be represented by Rh positive. If you see the examples, styrene divinyl benzene copolymer. So here which are the sulfonation and carboxylation, it becomes capable to exchange the hydrogen ions with the cations in the water molecule. It is shown in the diagram, right? So next one is anion exchange resin. It may consist of what basic functional group, right? OH minus, right? So this is a capable of exchanging of anion with another anion, capable of exchanging of anion with another anion, which comes in their contact, that is known as anionic exchange resin. It can be represented by ROH minus, right? Generally we can take the example is what styrene divinyl benzene amine formaldehyde copolymerization. So if you see this, so see this OH will be there, the process. For example, if you're going to take, this is a diagram is there, cationic exchange resin and anionic exchange resin. First we need to pass hard water into the cationic exchange resin. Hard water, it may consist of what? It may consist of temporary hardness, it may consist of permanent hardness, right? So here the temporary hardness and permanent hardness will have the cations will be same, right? So it may be of calcium, it may be of magnesium. So what is the temporary hardness definition? Due to the presence of carbonates and bicarbonates of calcium, magnesium. And so permanent hardness means due to the presence of chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. Means the cations, it may be similar, calcium and magnesium. This calcium and magnesium cations, so when you are passing into the cation exchange resin, cationic exchange resin, this cationic exchange resin can be represented by Rh positive, Rh positive. So in this H place, so this H place can be exchanged by the calcium, right? So then, so it will give the reaction is, it should be like this, Rh positive, and this calcium and magnesium is from the, so here the cations are exchanging. So this calcium is exchanged by hydrogen, or hydrogen is exchanged by calcium, therefore it will give R2Ca2++ 2 H plus. This H plus will be free from the, so here the resin, right? After cation exchanging column, the hard water is passed through the anion exchange column. If you see the diagram, so here after exchange cation exchange column, then it will be sent into the anion exchange column, right? So this anionic exchange column, what is the function of anionic exchange column? Anionic exchange column, so the function of this one, it can be represented by ROH minus anion exchange resin. So this anion exchange resin can exchange anion to the another anion, that is called as what is a anionic exchange resin. If you see this, so it can be represented by ROH minus. So here the permanent hardness will have about chlorides and sulfates. This is the chlorides and sulfates. These chlorides can be exchanged by the OH, hydroxylate anion. Therefore, so R and Cl will be combined, OH will be free. So here also sulfate can be replaced by the OH minus and then it will form RSO2 2 minus and 2H minus, right? So if you see the diagram, so in this diagram, the cation exchange column which releases of what H plus ions and anion exchange column which releases of OH minus, both will combines together. See here, H plus ions of cationic exchange column, OH minus anions is from the anionic exchange column. It will combines together to gives as what it is a water. This water coming out of the exchange, this cationic exchange column and anionic exchange column, it is free from the cations as well as the anion. So it is called as what? Ion free water or deionized water, demineralized water, right? So this is the entire thing. Can I repeat again? So hard water, when you're passing into the cationic exchange column, so in this cationic exchange column, cations are get exchanged by the another cation, right? So the cations of temporary hardness or permanent hardness, this calcium and magnesium will exchange by the RH plus. Therefore, it will form of what H plus will be so free from this one cation, and then again it will be sent into the after exchanging of cations. The water is sent into the anion exchange column. Then the anions are get exchanged in this. Then again it will be, so here the H plus ions from the cations and the OH minus ions from the anion will combine together, which gives us what? Deionized water or demineralized water, right? So now if you see this, so here how the regeneration process will be takes place. Cation exchange column can be regenerated. So here this will be formed in the RS2 RCl or calcium. R means here the alkyl group. So this is formed in the cation exchange column. This is formed in the anion exchange column. So here, so the cation exchange we should regenerate. How we are going to regenerate? By passing off. So here the diluted HCl or sulfuric acid. Then we can regenerate the H plus ions, right? So next one, anion exchange column also we can regenerate or re-exhaust it. So by passing off solution of diluted base. So if acid cation exchange can be regenerated by adding of acids, hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. If anion exchange column can be regenerated by adding of, so here the diluted, so base NaOH or KOH we can regenerate it. So this is a regeneration process. So means, so if you are using this regenerated cation exchange resins and anion exchange resins, so if you are not regenerated, the replacing is what? It will take more cost, right? Waste of money, waste of material. Instead of waste of money, waste of material, we need to reclaim the material. Is easy process and we can so avoid the wastage as well as the money also. That is the reason we can regenerate it. Regeneration process is a, to regenerate the cation exchange column we can add dilute acids. To regenerate the, so here the anion exchange column we can add base. So here these are the advantages and disadvantages. It can be used soft. So advantage of this one is what? This method can be used for soften highly acidic or alkaline waters and it produces water of very low hardness also we can use. Next, disadvantage. This equipment is very costly. That is a major disadvantage of ion exchange method. Expensive chemicals are needed to do this so treatment, and next output of the process is reduced if water contain turbidity or turbidity is what it may be. It must be below 10 ppm, then it will be easy, right? So these are the disadvantages. Now I'm going to give you so one question. What is a regenerated reagent for cationic and anionic resin? I'll give the 2 minutes to you, so please answer it. So can I go for next? Yeah. So this water is what? Water not everywhere, right? 90% is sea water is there. 3% only fresh water is there, right? Only 0.007% is safe for the consumption, right? So that is the reason everyone is saying please save the water. Now the high demanded water usage, right? So these are all are the measurements is there. So just go through that, right? Thank you.